Hello and welcome back for another video with Sick Daniel and
Sick Daniel. Yeah,
I'm gonna
with our poorly Daniel and with awesome Natalia. No, I'm joking.
in towards Pall Family.
Yeah, in towards Pall Family. Today we have a suggestion from somebody from YouTube.
Don't remember, there are so many suggestions,
Yeah,
so
don't
I
remember
cannot
the
keep
name.
up with the names, with everything.
But-
We are just trying to cover all the suggestions.
Yeah, but anyway, the video is from Alexander White.
It's quite new, 13 November this month, 2021.
This year, yeah.
Oh.
How to travel Indonesia. Complete travel guide.
We are back with videos about traveling in
Yeah.
Indonesia as well, because we really need to find out things,
Yeah.
where, how, when. Subscribe,
Yeah, we never done from him, no?
like, no, don't forget, if you're new and enjoying watching these videos with us, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, to know when we're gonna post our next videos. Ready? 15 minutes steady.
Looking to visit Indonesia, then this is the only guide you will need to plan your next trip.
Let's see. Let's watch it in 4K. If our internet is working. Hi, come on. Yeah. To have a better view.
I've lived here for over 2 years, and whether you're staying here for 30 days or over a year, this guide will cover everything you need to know. Indonesia has become one of my favorite countries to travel, as you can see from the 60 plus videos I've filmed in this country.
I believe that anybody that's traveling or going to Indonesia, they're gonna fall in love. I don't know why I've got this impression, because we've seen so many videos from YouTubers that
And all the YouTubers,
after they've been in
they moved
Indonesia
there?
for a couple of times, they moved in Indonesia, so
or they are still
By the
going.
end, you'll know everything from the best places to travel, best time to exchange money, and things you didn't even think you needed to know. But if there's something more specific you're interested in knowing, make sure you hover your mouse over this video to see the video chapters.
yeah, we need to
down
apply
below.
for a visa
Now,
as well.
before coming to Indonesia, there will be 3 things you will need to consider, and that is going to be your visa, your insurance, and the quarantine. Now, I don't want to get too much into the regulations, because by the time I finish filming this video,
They're
they will
gonna
probably change. But
Yeah.
as of now, in November 2021, there are many nationalities that can come to Indonesia on a business visa, or if you have a residency permit. If you're interested to know the visa agency I've been
Republic
using,
Moldova?
you can message me directly
They
on
what?
Instagram, and
What
I
was
will
the
send visa
passport?
a business visa, or if you have a residency
Oh no, sorry. I didn't see. I was thinking
if
it's
you're
from
interested to
Moldova.
know the visa agency I've been using, you can message me directly on Instagram, and I will send you the contact information for the visa agency that I use here. The second thing you will need
Okay.
is insurance, and the company that I've been using is called Safety Wing. I've been using them for over a year now, and you can get insurance from them for as low as $40 a month, and
This is
coverage
helpful
is
as well, no?
worldwide, which is amazing. And another incredible feature that they have is a visa confirmation letter. So when you enter a different country, some of them will require you to show proof that you have coverage for COVID, and that lists exactly the countries you're visiting, which is amazing. I will have a link in the description for you guys, for those of you interested in checking them out. But the third thing is the quarantine. I have done a quarantine video here in Indonesia, but again,
Even
I don't want
if
to get
you're
too
vaccinated.
far into it, because again, it changes
well,
so frequently.
actually,
here.
yeah, depends,
At this
because it's
time,
changing.
Yeah.
You only need to do a 3-day quarantine, which is actually pretty affordable. I
Days
imagine
now.
now you can get it for 3 million to 4 million for the entire quarantine package. And the only requirement for quarantine is that you need to be fully vaccinated. If you have 1 dose, however, they will require you to quarantine for 5 days. Now, let's get into the best time to travel to Indonesia. There's 2 seasons you guys need to be aware of. That is dry season and wet season. So wet season is typically from October to roughly about March is when it ends, and the dry
April.
season is going to be from March until about October.
April for us.
So you want to definitely plan on being here in the dry season, because typically in the wet season,
Yeah, in the
you're
wet
gonna
season. We have it here.
Wet season is already here in UK.
It's
have
here
it
with
rain
us
pretty
all
much
the
every
time.
single day during the afternoons. Where is the best place to start for your travels in Indonesia? There's two
I bet that he's gonna say Bali and Jakarta.
options I have for you. That is Jakarta or
First
Bali.
Jakarta.
If you plan on coming
Everyone
into
is saying
Jakarta,
that.
definitely spend a few days here. It's a very underrated city. It's a big metropolis area, and there is so much to do here. Now, the second option is going to be Bali. If you're looking for the tropical island life, that is going to be the better option for you. In the surrounding area, you have Lombok, Nusa Penida, the Gili Islands, Lembongan, but Bali is going to be the much more tourist-friendly area if this is your first time to Indonesia or even first time to Asia. It's going to be much less of a culture shock to you guys, and much less of a language barrier, in fact,
I'm
as
waiting
well,
for
because
that.
everybody on the island pretty much speaks English. Now, how do you get across the country? This is probably one of the easiest parts, because there's just so many options, from
Gojek.
affordable travel to even a luxury travel around Indonesia. You have everything from buses.
I want to try that one.
This is probably one of the easiest
I want
parts,
it
because
was
there's
easier
just so
bus
many
or a
options.
I
tram.
think that's a
From
train.
affordable travel to even a luxury
Metro,
travel.
what is it?
I
Train.
think that this is a train.
Pekagan Kaka.
I would
Okay.
like to try that.
Around Indonesia. You have everything from
Train.
buses, trains, public transportation, taxis, and even motorbikes. So the options are pretty much limitless on how you want to do it. It's just a matter of what your itinerary is. One of the first ways I've traveled from city to city is using the bus system. You can get tickets as low as 100k IDR all the way up to 400, 500k IDR. For the luxury options, we took a trip from Jakarta to Surabaya on a sleeper bus with Sinerjaya buses. It's one of
Wow.
the top tier buses here in the country, and that cost us only $25.
So if you're gonna travel by
Really?
over the night, I don't know, from Bali to somewhere,
Yeah.
you can sleep over the night in the coach.
Yeah, so you can have a rest when you're reaching there.
Obviously,
If
that's
you can,
nice.
If you can sleep in the bus.
US.
If
So
I
again,
can-
incredibly affordable, but it might take you a little bit longer with traffic. Another option is using the train system. There's a massive train network around the country. To give you an example, we went on the economy train, and you can get tickets for as low as 90k IDR one way. And if you're looking to go one of the more expensive routes, you can book a luxury first class ticket from Jakarta to Surabaya for roughly about 800 to 900k IDR, and that'll give you a first class seat as well as a meal on board the train. Is it worth it? I'll let you decide and go and view that video. But there
You
are
have to
so
try
many
it
more
first to
options
see
if
for
it's
transportation
working.
to get around the country. I've made a full video on the public transportation system here in Jakarta specifically. You can view
We're
that
gonna
video
have to
with
check
by
that one as well.
clicking above. But if you're looking for more independence, I highly recommend you guys rent a motorbike. It's a lot
motorbike,
more
yeah.
difficult to do in Jakarta, but if you're visiting cities like Surabaya, Yogyakarta,
in Jakarta it's much difficult because of the traffic.
There's no word
Special for us, we are not used to ride
even
bikes.
Bali, it is very, very easy. We visited islands like Lombok, Lembongan, Bali, and
Here you don't
we
have so
all
much
got
traffic, so-
motorbikes for roughly about 50 to 70k IDR per
Per
day.
day.
Surabaya was definitely by far the hardest places to rent a bike, because you needed like 3 or 4 forms of ID. Usually it's
Oh.
not that difficult though. Typically they only ask for a copy of your passport, and on your way you go. You don't even really need an international license. However, I would highly recommend you get one before you come into the country. Most places will not ask for it when you're renting it,
What's
but
that?
they get one before you come. You really need an
No, it's-
international license. However,
International
I would
license.
highly recommend you
For the
get one
motorbike.
before you come into the country. Most places will not ask for it when you're renting it, but there is a chance you will get pulled over by police here, and they will ask for it. If you don't have that, then you're going to be paying a pretty hefty fine. Now let's quickly talk about phone plans and data here in the country. This will be very quick. The best one to use is called Telkomsel. It is the only one I would actually recommend. You can get them
This
anywhere
video
in the
will be
malls,
very
and you
helpful
can get
for
a
us.
SIM card for as cheap as like 200k IDR in the mall.
Mark and Spencer.
Yeah, we have that.
And you can get a SIM card
Starbucks coffee. What else?
Ace.
For as cheap as like 200
Want to go
Yeah.
shopping already?
I'm just
and it's
checking
very
what they've
easy to
got.
pop up. You just visit an Indomart or an Alphamart store. You can just say Pulsa Telkomsel, and you can just tell them how much you want to put on the SIM card, and they will top it up, and then you just use your app to preload the packages that you want to purchase. One additional cost you may need to consider when you're renting a motorbike is parking fees and security fees. Whenever you're visiting any convenience stores, there's typically a parking attendant, and if you're using a motorbike, you will need to pay the attendant roughly about 2k IDR. If you're parking a car, then you're gonna want to pay them at least like 5k IDR to 10k IDR. Indonesia is one of those places where you can find any types of accommodations, from a luxury villa, those places where you can find any type.
What?
What is that?
Wow. What is that? That looks like a
spaceship.
House. Spaceship.
No, really
I
looks
think
like
they are
villas.
they are from Mars.
Types of accommodations.
Oh, I really like.
It's beautiful.
From luxury villas in Bali to local accommodations in rural cities, and of course your high-rise apartments here in Jakarta, Indonesia. Whatever you're looking for though, you will find something within your budget. The best ways of booking accommodations that I found living here is using either booking.com, Airbnb, or Facebook groups. If you're looking for hotels or something that is just very last minute, I would definitely recommend booking.com over Airbnb. Everything is just very conveniently laid out for you, including the final price of the bill that you're going to expect. There's no hidden fees, no security deposits, or anything of that nature. The upside of booking a hotel is that most of the international chains will have international wall outlets, but places like villas and local residents and apartments will not, and you will need to use a converter depending on what kind of plug you have for electricity. If you're looking for something a little bit more down the road, or even those luxury or unique experiences, I would definitely recommend Airbnb as the better option for you. Although they tend to book up much quicker than booking.com, I think you're going to be much more happy with the accommodations and the variety of accommodations on Airbnb. If you're looking for something a little bit more long term, there are many Facebook groups for listings and real estate. Living in Bali, I found all of my long-term monthly accommodations for a conveniently low price through Facebook groups. So if you're looking for something monthly or yearly, in fact, then use the Facebook groups. You can negotiate a much better deal than on Airbnb or Booking.com.
390 something.
In Indonesia, there's only 6 apps that I've used every single day. The first of which is Google Translate. There is a bit of a language barrier depending on what area of Indonesia you're traveling to. Of course, the local islands and places like Jakarta, there's going to be very limited English unless you're in the very metropolis expat hub of that area. But you should definitely learn some key phrases like hello, goodbye, thank you.
This is what we are trying now.
The second app, of course, as I mentioned, Facebook, because Facebook groups are a huge thing here. It is the best way of finding accommodations. The third app I use every day is going to be Gojek. You can use it for booking food, delivery, and booking rides. So if you're not interested in using a taxi, you can book a Gojek motorbike or even a Gojek car to get to your destination. Fourth one is called Wise. And this has been a very extremely helpful app. Very similar to PayPal or Venmo, even from if you're from the United States. You can easily transfer money directly from your local account in the United States or wherever you're from and directly transfer it to Indonesian bank accounts here in the country. I will have a link in the description for you guys if you guys want to check out that app. And then the last two are actually essential for here in Indonesia. The first one is called Pedulingi. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but you need it to enter the country is the main thing. You cannot get into any malls, any shopping centers, any buildings really unless you use that app. It is basically an app to use as a QR code and a tracking app to track all your
here,
Same like here with
NHS.
Yeah.
Whereabouts because of the whole pandemic situation currently in the country. And the final one is called Travel Loco. It is the best way to find hotels, buses, train tickets, flights really around the country, and it accepts all the major credit cards. So it's very convenient and very foreigner friendly to use here for booking things in Asia. Now for purchasing things here in Indonesia, there's two ways you can go about it. The first is with your credit card, of course, but some local restaurants and some local places don't accept credit cards. And of course, as you heard, cash is king. So whenever you're coming to Indonesia, definitely have some cash on hand because you're gonna need it for things like tipping, security, parking, everything in between. Now you can bring cash in your local currency into the country and use a currency exchange to exchange your money into Indonesian rupiah. There's two tips I have for you. Do not use currency exchanges that are not reputable, meaning that they are literally a box with tinted windows. Do not use them.
This kind of exchange, they're everywhere, even
They
in
are
UK,
even here, yeah.
everywhere in Europe. You have this kind of things that they are asking for commissions, and you might get really bad exchange.
So it's because you will probably get scammed for your money there. The second tip I have for you is to exchange your money between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. local time, because that is when the exchange rate is at its highest. If you're looking to exchange your money, the two reputable companies I recommend is BMC and Central Kuta if you're in Bali. If you're in Jakarta, you can definitely go into any of the malls and get your currency exchange there. Now if you're using your debit card, there's many ATMs around the cities, but of course you're going to be charged ATM fees and foreign exchange rates. So I would definitely try to stay away from the ATMs as much as possible. Coming to Indonesia, you must definitely try the local cuisine here. Now, if you've done any research on the country, then you probably are familiar with nasi goreng and mie goreng, but you should definitely step out of your comfort zone. Now, if you're eating street food for the very first mie goreng, if you've done any research on the country, then you probably are familiar with nasi goreng and mie goreng, but you should definitely step out of your comfort zone. Now, if you're eating street food for the very first time in Asia, then you should definitely start off slow. Some of my favorite dishes have been soto betawi, martabak, curry ayam, and ikan bakar. If you're definitely a bit on the cautious side, my recommendation to you is go to the local spots where there is the most locals. Typically, if there's a lot of locals coming back, then they're definitely not getting food poisoning there. As far as entertainment goes, it really just depends on what you're looking for. In places like Bali and the surrounding islands, you definitely have a lot of island hopping, a lot of outdoors and adventure activities, go into waterfalls, going to the beaches, beach clubs, rooftop bars. If you're coming to places like Jakarta and the big cities, your entertainment's really going to be going to shopping malls, exploring the streets, and even going to indoor experiences like ice skating in the mall, going to go-karts, and even jet skis around Jakarta. Now, if you're looking to get anything shipped here, the two companies I would recommend would be DHL, and the local company is called JNE, and you can get something shipped anywhere really across Indonesia, around 50k IDR to 100k IDR, so it's not too expensive. As for shopping online, the two biggest companies are going to be Tokopedia for anything electronics, and everything else is going to be on Lazada. For the 2 years that I have lived here, I've never had to go in for anything really too serious, except for a dental treatment. A few months ago, I had to go in for a root canal in Bali, and my experience was actually pretty pleasant. I had to pay about 5 to 6 million IDR for an entire root canal treatment. I'm not really too sure how much it would compare to the prices in your home country, but overall the dentist was very good and she spoke really good English. As for the pharmacies, one of the biggest pharmacy stores here in the country is going to be Guardian. So if you're looking for anything cosmetics, pharmacy, Guardian is going to be the place to go. And the very last thing I wanted to cover for you guys is the living costs in Indonesia. As you know, I've been living here for over 2 years, and I've done 2 cost of living videos and to give you guys an idea of the
What?
I'm still thinking like how it's to live, for example, in Indonesia for a year or two.
Can't imagine.
Just 1 month here, 1 month there, keep visiting.
I would like that, but
the metropolitan side in Jakarta and the tropical
Don't
island
know.
life in Bali.
Never
so if
tried
you guys
it.
want to see those
Let's go
two videos,
first and,
you can click the link above, and that'll give you guys an idea of everything from food costs, groceries, laundry, data costs per month living here in Indonesia. But if you've been to Indonesia before and you want to share any other recommendations with fellow travelers, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel. And
We've
I
done
will
it
see you
already.
guys in the next video. Peace.
This was really helpful.
Yeah, I think
Really,
this was
really.
one of the most helpful, like,
Like from the top to the
information,
bottom. It was
information from what.
This would help us a lot, to be honest.
Thank you very much,
When we-
Alexander.
when
Why?
we're going. And thank you the people who send us this, no? Not
Yes.
Alexander. Yeah, Alexander as well, but
He-
I don't
he-
remember the name of who sent us the
He
recommendation.
did made this video like full with information, like useful
Mm-hmm.
information from before you going
Yeah.
until you're gonna leave from Indonesia. Many of them we're gonna have to write them down so we can know in case we need something where to get them from.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you
was
again, guys, for watching this video with us.
Really, really good.
Don't forget, if you're new and enjoying watching these videos with us, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell to stay up to date,
Yep.
and see you in the next one.
See you in the next one with
Bye.
Sick Daniel
With my
and Natalia.
Bye.
Bye.